So a paper on the oldest Maya site, Aguada Fénix, which dates to around 1000 BCE, was published earlier this month, and it states that the purpose of this site was that it was a large cosmogram. And I've noticed that on social media, people have sort of misinterpreted this and have said that this site is sort of a map of the universe, a map of the stars, a map of the cosmos. And in defense of those people, a lot of articles that have summarized this paper have also used the same terminology, which is probably where this confusion comes from. But it gives some of the watchers or readers of these articles or these videos the false impression that it's some sort of star chart, which it really isn't. And the paper itself doesn't really use this language as well. So the paper asserts that Aguada Phoenix is a cosmogram or a large diagram of how the community understood the world. So it's a representation of the universe and not a literal map of it. So we have at the center of design the cruciform cache with different pigments, blue for the north, green for the east, yellow for the south, and the west being represented by red tone marine shells. So we have one of the earliest representations of directional color symbolism in Mesoamerica, and we see this in many different Mesoamerican cultures later, such as in this codex of the Faravari Mare Codex. So they believe the universe was ordered according to the north-south and east-west axis, with the east-west axis being tied to the movement of the sun. And a little side note, the use of azurite blue pigment is one of the earliest known cases in Mesoamerica, which I think is pretty cool. Not only that, the shells placed on the west side and shells found on the south side may have symbolized water. Later Mesoamerican groups would often associate the west with the watery underworld, through which the sun entered. An example of this are the deposits of marine life found on the western side of offerings of the Templo Mayor of the Mexica. There are also canals built that don't really serve any practical function, so these are probably built due to the ritual importance of water to the community. Now, to add to the symbolism, the Igru Plaza, or the main platform where we find the cruciform cache, possibly aligned with the sunrise on the 24th of February and the 17th of October, with an interval of 130 days, which is half of the 260-day Mesoamerican ritual calendar. Another important thing to note, as the paper states, that this was likely done with over 1,000 people over the course of years as a community project, and there's no deposits of offerings of images of rulers or supernatural beings tied to elite power, but instead representations of everyday life, such as animals and a woman giving birth. And it was a pretty large site too. Here's a comparison to Teotihuacan and Tikal, and all this was done around the same time that the Olmecs were building their cities as well.